Welcome everyone to this daily Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for Thursday, June 2nd, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, everyone, so I am down with a bit of a cold. If you can't tell, I'm pretty stuffed up. I've been fighting it for the past couple days, so do bear with me if you hear me sniffling or whatnot. I do apologize. But let's go ahead and go through this like we would a normal day and talk about what we got. So we do have the balsamic phase, which I think is the most important thing going on right now. This is the fact that we have a new moon shaping up over the weekend, and this is a time of really being reflective, listening and creating space in our life, maybe getting some of that rest and relaxation. So that's seen by the phase, and we do have a lot of spiritually active aspects, which we'll talk about as well, really activating this. But today we do have the moon in Aries, which was the location of the last lunar cycle. And this is how it works. When we're in the balsamic phase, the moon goes into the sign of the previous new moon. So this is where we can reflect on what we've learned these past 30 days about independence in our life. Maybe about being direct. Maybe direct with communication, since Mercury was retrograde here as well. Maybe even bringing in some of that active energy into our daily lives. This was a big theme these past 30 days. And I think it's good to sort of sit with that energy to feel it, because the energies of Aries will be there. They'll kind of come to the forefront. But where it was more active this last 30 days, this is feeling it, and accepting it, and just kind of sitting with it and seeing what kind of, perhaps insights, but what kind of feelings and things arise from that. And basically, too, what we might want to bring with us regarding that independent, direct, and perhaps active energy into this next new moon. So this is going to be the new moon in Taurus, and this is where the Sun and Venus are. Excuse me. So there is this self-expression right now and focus on the material world, and I think it's excellent to be grounded and rooted in the material world right now at the moment, whether it's connecting with nature, whether it's having a plant next to us, whether it's having beautiful things around us, getting a good meal, a hot bath, aromatherapy. All these things can really help root us at the moment, and I think we can enjoy them with Venus here. Now, Venus is very close to the Sun, so we want to make sure we are doing this in moderation, but still, the enjoyment is certainly there. So in terms of the aspects, today is a sort of pivotal day in terms of this whole Grand Cross energy, because this new moon is forming this Grand Cross. And that's the 4 squares. And so what we're coming off from yesterday is this Sun squaring up to Neptune, which has been this working with presence. And I think that's still an excellent energy to work with here today. Where can we be more present? Where can we accept things in our life? What kind of actions can we take to integrate more presence into our daily sphere? And when it comes to Neptune too, perhaps it could be, again, getting some of that meditative time, some of that alone time. And in this whole Grand Cross energy, it's all about working on this spiritual development. So that's very strong, and Venus is going to be squaring up to Neptune because that is, her conjunction with the Sun. So that's taking us into tomorrow, and this is particularly with our values in life. And I think with Venus, especially in Taurus, with the square to Neptune, is where can we transcend the ego attachments to the material world, right? Because of course, we are having an earthly experience, but to really root this and to have it grounded and to have it really balanced is to integrate the willingness to detach from it. Otherwise we can get too caught up into the earthly or material side of things. So I think integrating Neptune of transcendence, of being willing to surrender, to let go. And in that way, it can create a tremendous amount of true spiritual value, where we're really seeing what we really connect with, and even who we really connect with, which is everyone at the end of the day, but really connecting with others in that unconditional and accepting way, which is Neptune. So that can be very constructive. It's excellent to work with this in the square. And I think, again, just like with that square up to the Sun, how we can work on the spiritual development with who and what we value in life. Now, the Sun is going to be opposing up to Saturn as we go into tomorrow. So this is the strong discipline with this whole Grand Cross. This new moon is going to be opposing up to Saturn. So Saturn, the teacher of patience, the teacher of discipline, has been reminding us with the square up to Neptune even that things do take time, that there is this long-term picture. So I think that's going to be activated today. And in this opposition, where can we bring in some of this patience and discipline into our lives? And it's all about balance, though. We don't want to just get caught up into the Saturn energy, because then it does become too dense. And that's how we can balance it on that side, is seeing where we can express ourselves, where we can still tap into that lighthearted, playful side of ourselves, which is the sun, right? And with this opposition with Taurus and Saturn and Scorpio, this is particularly about where we can build things in life that are based on intimacy, and this could be relationships, but anything in life. Is it based on what's real? And where can we be more open with ourselves, be more open in our life, and build solid foundations with that? So that's going to be a big part of this new moon, which I'll cover in the new moon report. But today, certainly having both the earthly enjoyment, which is Taurus, while at the same time having the depth, having the intimacy, having the openness. And I think taking those things seriously to a degree, I think will be important, as well as that patience and persistence. So that's the strongest energy of the day. On a minor note, in the evening, we are going to have a grand trine with the moon, trining up to Jupiter and Pluto, which is quite nice, kind of lifting things up, perhaps. But that is when these two aspects go exact. And Mercury is still trining up to the North Node. So I think there's still a lot to learn. When it comes to learning, there's a lot of supportive energy at the moment. So treating life as, a learning arena, right? Being open-minded, being inquisitive. It's an excellent time to be learning. And I think through that, it's very supportive to the life path. But the strongest energy is going to be still the sun squaring up to Neptune, where we can work on our spiritual development, integrate more acceptance in our life. With Venus squaring Neptune, particularly with our values and our relationships, and that can be very constructive as well. And the sun opposing up to Saturn, where we can have balance of patience, yet lightheartedness, yet self-expression, playfulness in our life, and seeing that both of these things are actually just two sides of the same coin. To have real joy and real fun in our life, it does take that sense and to a point, a sense of reservation, a sense of patience and discipline in the process. And in this balsamic phase, again, lowering of energies, good to be reflecting and sitting with these energies to create space for these new beginnings over the weekend. All right, so I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow.